Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Michael Ballam. Christmas celebrates God's love for us and our love one for another. As such, it is generally a time full of rejoicing, but it can also be a time filled with pain. In some cases because we have distanced ourselves from God, and in many cases because we have lost loved ones, without whom it is difficult to rejoice. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow finally married Frances Appleton on July 13, 1843. He had been asking for her hand in marriage for nearly 7 years. The young poet and scholar was teaching at Harvard, publishing scripts, books, and poetry collections. Yet attempt after attempt to gain her hand in marriage was rejected. Nevertheless, Longfellow was smitten. After 7 years, the letter from Fanny arrived accepting his most recent marriage proposal. Henry, too, restless to wait for a coach to arrive, walked the 60 minutes to her home in a neighboring town. It was a love for the ages. The following year, they were blessed with the birth of their first child, Charles. Henry Longfellow would continue to teach at Harvard and go on to become the most celebrated American poet of his time, writing such famous works as Paul Revere's Ride and the Song of Hiawatha. He and Frances had 4 more children and enjoyed a season of plenty. In 1861, the first shots of the American Civil War were fired. The nation was being torn apart from the inside. At war with itself, the future of the United States depended upon what Lincoln described as a firm reliance on him who has never yet forsaken this favored land. That same summer in their Massachusetts home, Frances was carefully trimming some of her 7-year-old daughter's beautiful curls when she decided to preserve the clippings in an envelope sealed with wax. Melding a bar of sealing wax with a candle, a few drops fell unnoticed on her dress, igniting the light material and immediately wrapping her in flames. She fled to Henry's study in the next room, where Longfellow frantically attempted to extinguish the flames with a nearby rug. Failing to stop the fire with the rug, he tried to smother the flames by throwing his arms around Frances, severely burning his face, arms, and hands in the attempt. Frances Longfellow died the next morning from her burns. Too ill from his own burns, Henry was unable to attend her funeral. His face, scarred from the burns, would wear a full beard for the remainder of his days. He would never remarry. He would never move from the home in which she died. That first Christmas after Fanny's death, he wrote, "How inexpressibly sad are the holidays." The following Christmas, his mood had not improved. "A Merry Christmas, say the children, but that is no more for me." He wrote, "Perhaps someday God will give me peace." In the year that followed, Longfellow received word that his oldest son, Charles, a lieutenant in the Army of the Potomac, had been severely wounded. A bullet passed under his shoulder blades, damaging his spine. Consumed with grief, that Christmas was silent in Longfellow's journal. One can only imagine the loss he felt. But even in profound tragedy, there is hope, and only in darkness can a new star appear. The following year, on Christmas Day, Longfellow wrote the poem, "Christmas Bells." Saddled with grief and surrounded by war, he exclaimed, "And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth," I said, "for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men." But like faithful seekers before him, his search was rewarded with the peace he so desperately sought. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men, till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolve from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime, of peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. I thought how as the day had come, the belfries all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken